Hi everybody, my name is Robert, and I'm making this video because I've recently been diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder that's pretty rare called Granulomatosis with Polyangiitis GPA. It's also known as Wegener's disease. Now, like I said, the reason I'm making this video is because there's not a lot of stuff out there as far as I was looking for somebody that's been through the treatment and that could kind of tell me how it went, and I couldn't find that. So I'm making this video for anybody else who wants to know what the treatment is like, and hopefully it's helpful. It'd probably be therapeutic for me as well to make this, because there's a lot of denial involved, at least with me, I know. So yeah, what I'm basically gonna do is talk about what I learned, okay, what I felt, what I feared, what scares the crap out of me, you know, and what the experience is like. So let's start from just a little trivia, okay? Like I said, it used to be called Wegener's disease, and that's because a German pathologist in 1936, Frederick Veninger, he had 3 cases, and he really was the one that said, okay, this is a distinct disease, separate autoimmune diagnosis. Okay, so in his honor, they named the disease after him. He was honored throughout his lifetime. After he died, 2 journalists decided to write an article about him, and they submitted it to the Lancet, and it was rejected. And it was rejected because basically they found out that he was wanted in Poland as a war criminal. It turned out that he had become a lieutenant colonel in the SA under Hitler, and that a lot of his work was done very close to a Jewish ghetto in Poland. And there's evidence kind of like both ways as far as, well, was he involved in some really bad things? There's enough there to say, well, he was in the wrong place, supporting the wrong people, and they stripped him. So now it's just called Granulomatosis with Polyangiitis. All right. Now, I think the best thing I can do is probably just start with, how did I get my diagnosis? Because a lot of times this thing is misdiagnosed or goes undiagnosed for a long time, and that can be very dangerous, and it can also be fatal. So, for me, okay, it started out with a sinus infection in January of this year. January and February, I had a very bad sinus infection. I couldn't sleep at night, really for more than 45 minutes at a time. I would wake up because I couldn't breathe through my nose. I'd wake up like every 45 minutes. I had a bottle of water nearby. I'd drink some water because my mouth was like a desert. Go back to sleep another 45 minutes. It was exhausting. Now, I did the right thing. I went to the doctor, and I went to a specialist. And, you know, they told me, you know, shoot salt water up your nose and nasal sprays, and hopefully it goes away. Well, I shot a ton of salt water up my nose, and nothing happened. It didn't get better. Okay, so me and my wife were thinking, well, maybe this is an allergy. We're in Southern California, and it rained like crazy this winter, and everything is green, everything is growing. You know, it's not your typical brown Southern California. So maybe it's an allergy. All right. So we planned a trip to Miami anyway. So we went to Miami, and I figured if I go to Miami and it gets better, it's an allergy, and then we can come back with that information and tackle that. Went to Miami, didn't get better. Okay. In Miami, I was very nasally. I think everybody was kind of like keeping a little distance from me, thinking I was probably highly contagious. We still had a great time, and a lot of good people, but didn't get better. All right, so coming home, took an airplane back. Okay, it was tough on the ears, you know, but Got back on Tuesday. On Thursday, I was at work, and I went to stand up from my desk, and I felt pains in my legs. I felt like around my knees hurt, and my legs just kind of felt stiff. So, I was able to take a look at my legs, and I had a rash from my knees on down. From the top of my knees all the way down to my feet, it looked like I had the measles. I'm thinking that's pretty strange. Okay, so go to the doctor, and of course, since I just got off an airplane, I had pains in my legs. They said, okay, let's check for a blood clot. So I went to urgent care. They did ultrasound looking for a blood clot, and they found one. Again, they said, okay, well, you got a blood clot. You got to go to the emergency room. They're going to make you to the hospital. All right. I go to the emergency room, and I had a very sharp doctor there. And he looked it all over, and he said, yeah, you got a blood clot, but it's not in a deep vein, and it's not going anywhere. And we're really not concerned with it. Okay? It's probably something that's been there a long time, and it's probably not going to cause you any problems. But that rash on your legs, okay, that's a concern, And he said, that, to me, that looks like a vasculitis. So, okay, what's a vasculitis? Well, vasculitis, he said, is basically your immune system is attacking an infection somewhere in your body. It's attacking some blood vessels, and those spots are basically the debris from the blood vessels, and the reason they're in your legs is because that gravity is going to take them to the lowest points of your body. So if you were standing on your head, your head would have spots, but since your legs are the lowest point, that's where it goes. That sounds pretty intelligent, So they didn't have any room at the hospital over the weekend. They said they were taking a culture that would take 48 hours. And I kind of got the hint that I should go home and get in touch with my doctor. So that's what I did. Got in touch with my doctor. Okay. He looked at everything. And I told him what the ER doctor said about the vasculitis. And my doctor said, yeah, that's what he thinks. I don't agree with that. I think you got a rash, you got gout, okay, and you got sinuses, and it all came at one time, kind of like a perfect storm. He said that can happen. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it can happen, but I don't think that's what's going on here. That vasculitis sounded pretty reasonable. So, but to my doctor's credit, he did order a bunch of blood tests, and he sent me to a rheumatologist to check out the gout. Now, the rheumatologist is pretty sharp, and he did some more tests. And he called me up on a Tuesday and said, you stay home from work today? Okay, I put in a referral to a kidney specialist, because you need to go see a kidney specialist. And they'll be calling you today. So go see them today. I said, okay. Stayed home from work. Waiting for the call. Nobody called. So I called them. Told them, okay, you got a referral, an urgent referral, got a stat. When can I come in? They said, no, we don't have the referral. And so I said, yeah, you do. It's been approved. Go check again. So they checked and they found it. But they said, okay, we have to give this to our doctors, and they have to check it for urgency to determine how quickly you need to come in here. So we'll give you a call back. They didn't call me. I tried getting hold of them again throughout the week, and they didn't call me. All right. Friday, I'm heading down on 5, heading down to San Diego to go see my ears, nose, and throat doctor, right, about the sinuses. I get a call from my rheumatologist. He says, I just got your recent labs back. You're in renal failure. You need to be in the hospital. So, I'm driving down 5, and I'm thinking, I feel pretty good. Okay, if I was in renal failure, you think I would have I feel sick, nauseous, You think that my back would hurt. I know my kidneys are, you think I'd have some pain, but I don't have any of that. I start thinking, is this guy crazy? But he's my doctor, and I'm going to listen to my doctors. That's why I go to them. So I go see the ear, nose, and throat guy and finish that up. And then I go over to urgent care. Urgent care, they said, they did the labs, and they said, yeah, you're in renal failure. Your kidneys are failing. Okay, you need to stay here over the weekend. We're going to put you on some IV steroids, and that should help. Okay, they said my creatinine which measures the health of your kidneys. The top is supposed to be like 1.3. Mine was 4.5, so it's more than 3 times the level. So I stayed that weekend. Did what they said. They did the IV steroids. They also said Monday morning we're going to do a biopsy of your kidneys. We're going to biopsy one kidney, and we think we know what this is. We think this is an autoimmune disorder called HSP, okay, which is more frequent in children, and it's something that basically you take steroids for about a month, and you'll be good to go. So we're 85% sure that's what it is. The kidney biopsy is going to seal the deal. All right, so they did the biopsy. No big deal, no big problem. It wasn't very painful. Really wasn't painful at all, and it didn't hurt afterwards. You just have to be careful not to, kind of like break open the scabs on your kidneys. So you have to take it easy for a couple of days. Okay, so about a week. Took about a week for the everything to come back. We go to my nephrologist, a kidney specialist. And she comes in the room and she says, okay, no, it's not what we thought it was, not HSP, and it's this thing called GPA, okay, Granulomatosis with Polyangiitis. All right, what the hell is that? Okay, well, she explained basically that it's, like I said, it's an autoimmune system. Okay, your kidneys. Your autoimmune system attacks your kidneys or your lungs or your sinuses for some unknown reason. They don't know the cause. It's not hereditary. It's just something that happens sometimes, but it's pretty rare. All right. So she said the good thing is we have better luck with this in adults than HSP, as far as having kind of like curing it, but it is more extensive. And she basically spelled it out. She spelled out that the treatment that you're going to have to go under is there's three different choices. One, for a mild case, they can use steroids, I guess, but mine, since it attacked my kidneys, was not mild. It's considered severe. The second one, I forget the name of the medication, but it has the side effect of it can increase the chances of bladder cancer down the road. It's like, nah, I don't want to go through this to deal with bladder cancer. Okay, and the third one is Rituxan. Now Rituxan, she said basically you would have to get an infusion, which is kind of like a chemo type thing, where you go into a chemo room and you're there for most of the day, and while this drug is administered intravenously into your system. And what we're going to do is you're going to go 4 weeks in a row, once a week for 4 weeks. And then after that, maybe go to 4 months. And then after maybe 4 months, if things are going well, you can eventually go to 6 months. But basically, it's going to be like 1.5 to 2 years doing this. And it's like, whoa, 1.5 to 2 years. That's pretty intense. That's more than more than I was thinking coming in this room. So that's the route we're going. We're going to do the Rituxan, and that's supposed to start next week. I need to find out a lot more about it, okay? But that's the way we're going to go. Now, one of the scary things, of course, is that the treatment for this, the whole idea of the treatment, is that the Rituxan is supposed to beat down your immune system, and it's supposed to beat it down to the point where you can't make antibodies. Okay, you can kind of think of it as kind of like rebooting your immune system. Beat it all the way down so that when it comes back up, it functions the way it's supposed to function, and doesn't go after your own organs. Okay, but during that period of time, you're basically going to be immune compromised. So we're talking about being immune compromised for like a year and a half to 2 years. Now to me, that's kind of a scary thing, you know. Because our doctor explained to me that, I need to stay out of like movie theaters. I need to stay away from crowds. I need to stay away from anybody who's sick. I need to stay away from any place where, I could basically pick up an infection. Okay? Yeah, and, I can handle a lot of that, but, a big part of my life right now is I have 4 grandkids under the age of 6 years old. And being a grandpa is the greatest thing in the world. It really is. It is a blast. I recommend it to anybody. And, I'm happiest when those kids are right here sitting on grandpa's lap. Okay, when we're playing some games and having some fun. Now, those kids, they're great. But they are like little walking petri dishes, There's always that runny nose. There's always somebody's always sick, and when they're sick, I'm not going to be able to be near them. So that's something that is definitely a concern, and something that I have to kind of work out. I'm not looking forward to. Okay. So, got to really take a look at how much I need to change my life on this. Okay, it's like I said, it's kind of a shock. It's kind of like there's part of me that's saying, okay, maybe you're overreacting, but nah, I don't really think so. I think this is something that's going to be a big adjustment in my life, of course. So that's what we're planning on doing. Okay, that we're going to the Rituxan thing. Okay, as we go along with this treatment, I will be making other videos and just letting you know, whoever is out there watching, that what I experience and how it goes. Okay, so that's all basically for the first video, and I'll see you after the first infusion.